Now for a lively lift. Ice-cold Coca-Cola. There's no waistline worry with Coke, you know. Actually, this individual-sized bottle has no more calories than half a grapefruit.
This is a tasty burger.
The Morning Stream. We're not toys, we're action figures.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to TMS. This is the morning stream for, what is it, Tuesday, April 1st. Oh, my gosh. It's Liberation Day. I keep hearing about that. I don't know what that is. Anyway, we'll find out.
What are we liberating from?
I don't know. Maybe March. Yeah.
We're finally free from the bonds of March.
Yeah, March. F you, March. You kind of sucked this year. We didn't like you very much.
We did suck.
We got snow on the ground, but we also have, Brian, someone else on the ground here. We have Amy Robinson joining us
already.
Yeah. We also got Chuck way back there in the background. Hi, Chuck. Wave to everybody. There you go. Chuck, the significant other of Amy Robinson. Amy, welcome to the show. It's weird having you in studio. How do you feel?
It is. It's exciting.
Yeah?
This is really fun.
Yeah?
I'm getting a whole different perspective.
Is it a little freaky? Like, oh, this is where it happens, and now I'm underwhelmed by where is this underwhelming?
No, I mean, I would say I'm thoroughly whelmed.
She's whelmed. All right.
Does the studio feel larger or smaller than you feel like it when it's on screen?
Yeah.
I think.
Imagine that was actually a well-prepared grammatical sentence.
Right. Yeah. I think size-wise, it's about the same as what I expected, but the layout is slightly different than what I had in my imagination brain.
Yeah.
Sure. Did you? I mean, when people see behind me and you see all this shiz back there, it's hard to tell what this is. This just looks like a dirty corner of some room.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And boy, howdy is it. If you look at that glass, I got to clean that glass. But yeah, if you broaden things out a bit, you see a much larger space. Back over there is where the girls have their desks and stuff, where they do their business. There's a little divider there where Charles is in charge, as you can see there. And yeah, we're just kicking it, making it real. We had a lovely dinner last night, breakfast this morning. I can tell you, these two are lovely. Welcome to the Utah mates.
Aww.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now you guys got here when it was beautiful. Like the sun was out. It was 70-something degrees. You could see the mountains from everywhere. Like it was the best presentation, best pitch we could give you. Mm-hmm. And then today it snowed. So congratulations. You've seen the whole gamut.
Well, it was actually funny. Like I looked out the window in our hotel this morning and I was like, oh my gosh, it's snowing. Oh, look, it looks exactly like when it snows in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And Chuck says, oh, well, but with one key difference, dear. See all those cars? They're moving.
Yeah.
They know what to do in this.
Right.
When it snows.
We don't shut down like you people.
Right.
All right. And when I say you people.
How often does it snow in Atlanta? I wouldn't have expected. Is it even once a year? Or is it even less than that?
It's sporadic. Sometimes we'll get maybe 2 or 3 snows in a year. Sometimes we go entire years with no snow. But it's like never more than 2 or 3 times, I would say.
Well, we timed it really well because you guys came to the house yesterday by walking from your hotel, so they stayed very close to us.
Oh, nice!
For this part of the trip, anyway. You guys have been in a couple of places for the conference you were here for.
Yeah.
And so they walked all the way here. It's only about a mile, maybe a mile plus a couple of 0.2 or something. And it's still it's uphill mostly. It's like a decent walk. But then it's rained and then it snowed and now you're screwed. Now you can't do that anymore. So sorry about that.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
We apologize.
We took a brief lift this morning. Oh, actually, I have a lift story.
Oh, shit.
Ooh.
Brian, you're supposed to take notes or something on this, right?
I am. I'm writing this down.
Okay.
Just in case.
Well, okay,
I need to talk to the home office.
My lift story this morning is not that exciting, but it was just funny. Like, I hailed the lift from our hotel. When you're at a hotel, you expect the lift to come to the front door of the hotel.
Usually, yeah. That's usually what they
Come
do.
through the little breezeway, if there's a breezeway.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Sure.
So we're standing out there, and all of a sudden, I'm not seeing any cars, and the lift says, "Hey, guys, here, you got 5 minutes to get to your car." And I'm like, "What the heck?" He parked around the back of the hotel, and I was like, "Well, that was a choice." So we
Did he tell you? I'm in the
No, he just parked out there and I was like, okay. So I'm like following the the little GPS it gives you to go find the car. So, but otherwise uneventful. I mean, as Scott said, it's like 1.1 miles away. So it wasn't like huge.
It's the shortest lift in the history of lifting.
Yeah,
really.
It was very, very short.
It's just around the corner and up the road. Yeah.
I've had employees where I have to pick them up. Like, the staff at hotels will have me come pick them up in the back, and they'll actually do the push pin. Like, they'll put the push pin in the back of the hotel so that I know to drive to the back. But by default, if they choose the hotel, it should by default put the push pin in the front of the hotel, which is where you would expect as a guest.
Yeah. And this isn't a new hotel. This is it's a nice hotel, but it's been there forever. Well, I say forever, at least 10 years.
Yeah.
That I know of.
Yeah.
So it's not like somebody got confused. But this has been happening this week. I've had FedEx dropping more stuff in the backyard instead of the front door where they're supposed to go. Something's in the air.
Yeah.
Like deliver and pick up in all the wrong places is somehow in the air.
Well,
I don't know why.
The funny thing, and Chuck just mentioned this in the chat also, out the window of our hotel room, you can see the OCD anxiety treatment center.
Yeah. Where's that picture? Did you put it where'd you put that?
I think Chuck sent it to you, right?
Was it Chuck? Let me grab
in
it.
your chat with Chuck.
Is it did we do it in Discord, Chuck?
I don't know if I sent it.
Oh, maybe you
did
didn't.
You just show it?
I saw it somewhere. Send it to me. Yeah, maybe you just showed it to me at dinner. But Brian, you got to see this because it's literally which is the back of the hotel, right?
Yes.
And you're facing directly at this building that is this massive anxiety, panic attack treatment center thing.
Right.
So
after hours, is there a buzzer outside that says, "Please press this buzzer 5 times for entry"?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest. I don't see. Well, when you send that, Chuck, I'll show everybody, but I don't see it yet. Anyway, put it in Discord when you get a sec. But it's great.
I
yeah,
had a fun lift story yesterday as well, actually.
What happened?
Wasn't planning on talking about this, but when you bring it up, well, it was Uber specifically, but picked up a woman. So Kaiser Hospital, I think Kaiser is nationwide. I know you have it there in Utah.
Kaiser Permanente, is that the thing?
Kaiser Permanente, yes.
Yeah, they're like an insurance.
Spanish for Kaiser Permanent.
I think they're like an insurance hospital chain, a HMO deal, right?
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And they pay for their patients' rides to some degree. So this was a ride purchased by Kaiser for their patient. And so this much older lady gets in, long gray hair, kind of, maybe, I don't know, prepper looking a little bit, kind of with the camo gear and stuff like that. I might be reading too much into that. But anyway, she gets in and we're chit-chatting. Oh, what's that creature you have on your dashboard? And I have a Stitch bobblehead that sits up there. And Stitch, and explain what that is. This is such a nice, clean car. What kind is it? I said, it's a Kia Soul. She's like, oh. I said, it's a 2014. She's like, oh, it's very nice. I said, yeah, I keep it fairly clean. She's like, well, there's a spot on the back seat here. I'm like, oh, okay, thanks for that.
Did the old gray mare leave the spot, or was it somebody prior to her getting in there?
It's like a very faint, like somebody dropped some water from their water bottle, like a little residue of water from a water bottle, and it dried up and left a little tiny ring.
So
Super easy.
Not a huge deal. Yeah.
Not a huge deal at all.
Sure.
So we're chit-chatting all the way. And not 2 blocks from where I pick her up is the entrance to the highway. And we're chit-chatting about how warm it's been and how nice and how, we're supposed to get some cold weather coming in today and da-da-da-da. And as soon as I get on the highway, she just stops talking.
Uh-oh.
And she slowly pulls the seatbelt. She hadn't put her seatbelt on. I didn't realize it until I heard like the sound of the seatbelt being pulled down and clicked in.
Yeah.
Like I didn't say anything then. We're on the highway. So the route to get to her place actually takes 2 highways, and it's this really dumb part of our highway system where you actually have to get off the highway, drive down a regular road to get on the other highway. There's not a place where the 2 highways connect where I can just transfer from one to the other.
Sure.
So I get off the highway, immediately super chatty again, like, oh, just love this part of town is so nice, and like, oh, okay, cool, yeah, no, I like this part too. There's some really cool shops in here. And then we get on the other highway, and it's silent again.
Oh boy.
And after a minute, she says, do you always take the highway?
Aww,
She doesn't like the highway. She wants to go on the side road.
Yeah, so I do if the map, it's basically it's giving me the fastest route to get you to your home, but we don't have to take the highway. Would you like me to get off at Union Avenue and we can take Alameda down? I'll only add a couple minutes on the right. She's like, is that the soonest you can get off? I'm like, yep, all right, getting off at this road.
Oh, the poor thing. That's funny.
Bless her heart.
And she went from sweet to very racist and homophobic, talking about her neighbors.
Oh, lovely.
The whole rest of the way.
Lovely.
And I was thinking, can I get back on the highway now that she's
Maybe the highway was the best place for her, to quash her feelings about certain things.
She got dark quick, like angry, dark quick. She says, I said, oh, you from Colorado originally? She says, oh yeah, I've lived in Lakewood my whole life. I love Lakewood, but I hate the effing Lakewood cops.
Oh man.
And then she goes on to tell a story about how one of the detectives used to live next door to her and hated her and would, be mean to her and yell at her all the time. And then he moved down to Castle Rock about an hour south, but he rents out his house to two gay guys.
Oh shit.
And they hate her because the detective told them to hate her too. And then there's the Mexicans a corner away who keep taking her rocks.
Damn.
Moving her rocks from in front of her house to put in front of their house.
How dare they? Yeah.
Like, okay, yeah, this is really gotten bad, but okay.
Weird.
And I'm not, and Kaiser bought the ride, so I'm not even worried about a tip on this one.
Yeah.
Right.
But
And thank goodness she is not permanente, if you know what I mean.
exactly. Yes. Anyway, so I did mark. Still gave her, good rating as a passenger, but then said, please don't give me this passenger again. I don't want to, I'm sure she'll find another ride next time, but not for me. Thank you.
Such
very
a
much.
bummer because it's like at first you're like, oh,
know,
she
like,
got this
sweet.
thing.
I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to take care of you and I want to cuddle you for not liking the highway and you're scared. It's
Yeah.
okay. It's totally fine. But the gays, okay, back on the highway.
but the gaze is always a bad sign.
Yeah. Let me see how many speed bumps I can find in this route. I can take it full speed.
Well, here's hoping she finds a better way.
I hope so.
All right, we're gonna play a call. Amy, Les.
cool.
Les in Prague.
I think I do.
Familiar with his work?
Yeah.
He's always
Big fan.
He's always letting us know what's up. That guy, especially when it comes to English and Prague and whatnot. And here's a little something about daylight savings and light and all that sort of thing. So we're gonna hear what Les has to say.
Good morning, Scott and Brian. It's your friend Les in Prague in the Czech Republic calling just to talk about the daylight savings time discussion. I've had this idea for decades. Why don't we just set the time halfway between and leave it? In other words, if it's time to spring forward, instead of going from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock, at 1:30, we would change the clocks to 2 o'clock. That way, we would gain a half an hour, but then at the end of the time when we would normally fall back, we would be halfway between daylight savings time and standard time, if that makes sense. So it gives everyone a compromise between one side or the other. Just a thought. Love the show, though.
I think what he's saying too is you lock it there. So now if you have limited light at night, you only have that half hour problem, and then when it flips the other way, you've got a decent amount of light. It's a half hour more
in the morning or whatever it is. Yeah.
That's a great compromise.
Yeah.
Why not
So basically,
that?
just saying instead of the next time we do that, we just go half an hour and keep it there forever.
Yeah.
Like basically
Yeah.
that sort of thing.
I like it.
Yeah.
My problem is that I've got a bunch of things, devices in my life that have a daylight savings mode button, daylight saving mode. Got to drop that S.
I do it all the
daylight saving mode that you push the button and it just subtracts or adds an hour.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I would say the problem with that would be you'd have to get the entire world to agree to that be on the half hour, right?
Right.
Because-
right.
Yeah, no, this would have to be a universal choice.
Yeah.
And then the phones would all work fine. They would all do their thing because that's all happening remotely anyway. Or that's all happening with, servers. Servers are telling it when to do it. So
Phones and computers, all that stuff would work fine. But you're right. The rest of the world is, either 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, and then you tell them all, okay, by the way, America is now 30 minutes and we're going to stay there.
Yeah.
yeah. And then they'll just look at us in metric and go, really? You're going to make us do a thing, but you won't do our thing? freaking F off. And if there's one thing I've learned, the world's great about immediately doing what each other wants. So I think Les's
100%.
plan is all set to go. Let's do it.
It's funny because and Les might know where this is, or Amy, you might know. There's a country that doesn't have a full hour time zone difference. It's like there is a 30-minute time zone somewhere, and is it Middle East or something? There's some weird.
I didn't know. Do you know what that is?
I don't.
I don't either. I've never heard of that.
I'm looking it up really quick.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I wonder if they even bother with it, because like Arizona, famously, they're just like, we're not doing this.
Right. Yeah.
So maybe if you're a whole country that gets stuck in the middle, or do they get recognized as a separate kind of 0.5 time zone? You know?
Oh yeah. So, there's these even weirder. So India is 30 minutes. India Standard Time is 30 minutes off. Australia has Northern Territory, which is 30 minutes off. EUCIA, 45-minute difference.
What?
That is wild.
That's complicated.
Yeah.
That's super complicated. South Australia is 30 minutes. Broken Hill, Lord Howe Island, Cocos Keeling Islands are all 30 minutes off. New Zealand has a 45-minute difference.
Probably the chunk in it, or the whole country? To the whole place?
It looks like the whole thing.
I guess they're not that big.
Chatham Island. There we go.
Okay.
New Zealand, Chatham Islands. Canada, Newfoundland, 30-minute difference. Sri Lanka, 30-minute difference. Afghanistan, Iran, Myanmar. Nepal is another 45-minute one.
That's
There's
so.
Nepal time.
That's crazy.
I had no idea.
That all these
know,
exist.
yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
That's absolutely nuts to me.
You know what? Maybe Les is on to something. Maybe we could do the 30-minute thing and no one would notice.
That's wild, Brian.
Just join the ranks of those other countries that already do
Exactly.
that.
I want a 45-minute time zone. That way you can watch all your TV shows and that. All your dramas are 45 minutes
just your terrestrial dramas with the commercials removed.
Oh,
and
that's true.
As long as it's not on Peacock, because then you'll get enough ads that it'll throw everything off.
Yeah, Freecock my ass.
Unless you pay for the stupid ad-free cock.
Yeah, the ad free. Why does that sound worse than Freecock by itself?
It just does. Ad-free cock.
Ad-free cock.
It sounds like an upgrade.
Yeah,
Right?
Like the menu,
Yeah,
ad-free
exactly
cock,
like
and your. I don't know. I don't want to wear this. I don't want to know where this menu is. But
You pull up to sex worker on Colfax. Hi, would you like to ad-free cock? Oh, well, sure. Yeah.
man, the tales I hear about this Colfax area, Brian always talks about. Sounds like
Colfax
it's,
is it used to be this really cool. There are books, coffee table books showing all the cool neon and everything like that. They used to be on Colfax Avenue in Denver.
Yeah.
It used to be this thing where it was a cruising location, but it was like a widely accepted. You cruise this road because there's such cool neon. Now it's like the Golden Hours Hotel, which is by the hour, and
Yeah.
these other things. Colfax is not the savory. Welcoming avenue that it used to be.
We used to have a road called, well, it's still there, but we would second south. If you heard that being said when I was growing up, that meant red light district, all that stuff.
Okay, interesting.
I don't think it's like that now. I think it got gentrified and it's all like happy-go-lucky.
Is there a peach tree Peachtree Avenue in Atlanta?
We should find out.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, Atlanta is, you've heard that old Chris Rock bit, right? About how if you have an MLK in your city, that's actually the most dangerous place to be. Like if you're you're on MLK, run. But
Chris Rock as opposed to Kid Rock. Make sure
yes.
we
Yeah,
get
you
that
need
right.
to
make sure you don't get those two confused.
Yeah, pre-show, everybody, pre-show.
Or the rock. You don't gotta make sure you have the right rock.
Yeah.
So many much better rocks.
Yeah, right. I'm looking at, so according to, all right, in Brigham City, there's a Peachtree Shaved Ice, but that's not a street. Okay. Peachtree Avenue is a street name that can be found in various locations in Utah, including Saratoga Springs and Centerville. If you're looking for specific properties, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So there are 7 peach trees.
Hey, look at that.
How do you feel about that
I did not know
Atlanta
that.
native?
That's, it makes me feel even more at home.
Do you think they'll start filming the Avengers movies here because of this?
I mean,
Probably not.
Probably not.
Probably
but,
not. Feels like an unlikely scenario.
You'll see a little beehive icon instead of a peach icon at the end of your movies and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a comment about the beehive thing.
Do it.
So,
I can tell you everything I know about the Bee Hive State, whatever you
this
need.
cracked me up so much. So we're, as Scott pointed out, we've just been walking everywhere. everywhere. We didn't want to fool with like renting a car or anything like that. We pretty much were like, okay, we're going to be in walking distance everywhere we need to be. We'll just, after the conference, we'll switch hotels and we'll be near Scott, and then it'll be
It's
fine.
a very walkable city down
Yeah.
there anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're walking, and I notice there's one of those signs that's got like, it's not an interstate, it's the state highway sign.
Yeah.
And it's clearly meant to be in the shape of a beehive,
Yeah.
but it looks like a pile of poop.
Yeah, like a poo, it looks like a poo-poo icon or
Yeah.
a emoji.
It does.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Right.
I said to Chuck, I was like, why? I understand why some other states do that, right? Because like their state shape is not conducive to that. But like Utah has a distinctive shape.
Oh, yeah. We could do
and
it.
you could fit the number inside of the little, box with a notch
With the
out of
cutout,
it.
the
Yeah.
notch,
Like
Yeah.
you could have Utah state highways that are like shaped like Utah.
Completely agree. This is an old
So-
thing that as far as I know, it's been in place since I remember when I was a kid. So I think they've never changed. But the whole beehive thing comes from we're a state full of hard working bees, ready to go out there and do whatever the queen needs. Whatever the metaphor breaks down because we're not
Yeah.
We're not
You're very-
drones, and there's
very
no queen.
Patriarchal. Yeah.
Yeah. But the idea is that we're busy worker bees, and you're never going to find a lazy Uton is the idea. So then they start putting that imagery everywhere. Now, when it's actually drawn out as a beehive, you get a little entryway, you see the lines, you're like, oh, it's a
Or-
beehive.
yeah.
But when you do like a sign, it's just like a silhouette.
Yes.
You're like, that is a shit.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. It's like it's just a little bumpy, little pile. So yeah, that cracked me up. It was also the conference we were here for. In case anybody
Oh, yeah.
doesn't
Fill
know.
people in on that thing.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
So Chuck and I were here for a pottery conference. It's called NCECA. I apologize. I don't know what the acronym stands for, but it's like NCECA. I'm sure it's like National Conference of something ceramic artist, blah, blah, something. Anyway. Yeah, so we were downtown at the Salt Palace was where the conference was being held, and we stayed at the Marriott down there. And yeah, we had a great time. We saw like some really, really cool ceramic art. I sent Scott some of it just because I was like, dude, you got to look at this. This is awesome.
Sure.
And but yeah, we had a great time, and we both like learned a whole lot of stuff that we're really anxious to go home and get our hands in clay and try. And yeah, it was a really great time. But we were kind of cracked up at wherever we crossed the street downtown. The crosswalks are like little hexagons, so it's made to look like a honeycomb. And
Cool.
and it was fun to hear all the people who were crossing at the same time as us realize that that's what it was. Like, like, oh, it's like the beehive. Oh, it's very
Adorable.
But like the downtown area, I gotta tell you, like, until I saw for sure, like, oh, that's where the conference center was, I wasn't sure we were in the right place because y'all's downtown is very quiet and very clean.
Yeah, very clean.
I mean, and I was just like, whoa.
Famously, Adam Carolla once said on his show, he's never, on all the touring he ever did, I'm not even that big of a Carolla fan, but it's something he said once. All the places he tours, he prefers here because he feels like the streets are not gross.
Yeah.
He says the only city he's been in where he's just like, this isn't gross. Now, I don't know if that means we're spending extra tax dollars to keep it clean, or if we're just naturally clean, or
Yeah, exactly. Just naturally, yeah.
it's possible. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is, but it's true. It's
Yeah.
a clean city.
No,
And,
yeah, for sure. Because if you
yeah.
walk around in downtown Atlanta, I mean, no, it's not. It's stinky.
Yeah.
Like, there's, walk past one building, it's going to smell like pee, and another one probably vomit, depending on
Yeah.
how close you are to a bar.
It helps. It's not like a massive city, right? Like
Right.
we're not some huge metropolitan thing. It's relatively small compared to other Western states, and so I think that probably helps.
Yeah.
We have an area that is a little sketch, but they've also improved that, and like what we're doing with homeless stuff is a lot better than what it used to be. Or how are you supposed to say it now?
Unhoused.
Stuff.
Yes.
I always forget. It's a lifetime of
People
saying it wrong.
experiencing homelessness as opposed, yeah.
There you go.
Yes.
Man, it's so many more words. Couldn't they give us a shorter term like
Unhoused is nice and short.
house,
Yeah.
unhoused?
Unhoused.
Yeah.
I like unhoused because it's like you say, it's short and it's descriptive, and also kind of describes a condition rather than Right. It's not attributing it to the person. It's also a callback to a really old George Carlin bit that I really like, where he talks about that. He's like, it's not home. A home is an abstract concept. It's not a home these people are lacking. It's house. It's a house. They need a house.
Sure. You need to live somewhere.
Right.
I found, okay.
For your stuff.
While you were talking, I think the acronym. It is, so this is what the Salt Palace, was it?
Yeah. Is that the Salt Palace?
I love it there. We tried to get that for Nerdtacular once. It's very expensive.
I'm sure. Yeah.
I'm not surprised. It's very large.
It's very large, and they keep making it better, so it's not going to get any cheaper. Let's see. The National Council on Education for the Ceramic Arts.
There you go. I got the ceramic arts. And National and Ceramic and Arts. I got those two, right?
Well, all I know is the stuff you showed me, like pictures and stuff, really amazing stuff that I would first glance at and not think, oh, that's a sculpture. That's something that was fired in a kiln.
Right.
I never think that of these things. These things are so intricate and so, like when I kilned something back in the day when I was in college doing like ceramics, this is a big lumpy shit.
Yeah.
Or a beehive, depending on your point of view.
A beehive, yeah.
Yeah, so many ashtrays for a family that doesn't smoke.
Yeah, nobody smokes. That's all we could make. I mean, Kim's been doing this stuff recently, and she made some pretty interesting stuff. But she's ready to go back and like really go for it. Like just got her feet wet.
Kim showed us some of her stuff. It's very cool. Like, little platters with like some sgraffito art on there and stuff. It's really cute.
Sgraffito. Brian, you heard of sgraffito? I never heard of sgraffito.
Look how cool this thing
Look at that.
This is a cool piece of pottery right here.
That's beautiful. Now, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Did Danny make that?
I did.
Oh, you did?
I did.
It's really nice.
You have one as well.
I know. I don't know where I put it. It's back
This
here
is
somewhere.
full of all my. This is like it's all challenge coins in here. By the way,
Hey,
scads
that
and poker chips and challenge coins, but they're great.
You'll have a new one to add to the pile come 3.5 weeks or so from now.
Ooh.
I know.
Woohoo.
Get your tickets, everybody. They're running out. All right. Well, let's get to whatever's next. Oh, hey, you know that Sip Club deal, Brian, that you convinced me to try?
Yes.
I don't know how this happened, but I just wanted to, because I just did a little bit of historical look back on my habits over the last 30 days or so, and it's been a crazy 30 days with a lot of back and forth on the way on the other end of the valley, going to see my mom every other day or every day in some cases. And Wendy says hi to everybody, by the way. She wasn't able to come in studio, but
Hi,
she goes home tomorrow, I think, or tonight. Can't remember. Anyway, I figured it out. So my first visit ever to Panera Bread was in the year of our Lord 2025, early last month, meaning March. So we're just the first day of April. So the month we just ended, early in that month is when Brian said, I got the deal, and I said, hey, Brian, I should do this. And you're like, yeah, sweet, go do it. So we did that. We have now been to Panera Bread in that 30 days, no less than 8 different times. So my first time in the place, first time ever.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
You want to get as much as you can for the deal. I mean,
if you're passing one, you're like, why not, right? You're like, I have it for free. And then also they're always scrolling deals on there. So it's like, oh, there's my free drink, but also I can get a salad for $1.50.
Yeah.
Instead of the 7 whatever. And I'm like, okay, cool, add that to the thing. And also I've come to the conclusion of all the chains, it's the least gross. It's good food.
It is. I was going to say, it's why not? I mean, it's decent food. You're getting a good deal on it. I mean, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, why wouldn't you do it? So now we go there all the time.
There's a way I can see.
This episode's sponsored by Panera Bread.
How many times I've been in the last month just to point of comparison.
You probably have some data.
I go 5 or 6 days a week just to get the coffee because it's close enough that it's cheaper for me to get coffee there than to buy a bag of coffee and make it here. So
I wish they had a drive up. That's my only complaint. So I wish at least our location. Ours doesn't.
Yeah.
I wish it does because it's not a huge deal. But you pull in, you go in, you hit the screen, you do the thing, they give you your thing, and you're out. It's like not a big deal, but it'd be nice if we could just. But this location doesn't have a drive up. I know some do, but. Anyway,
and the stuff you're getting wouldn't be worth doing the pre-order thing, right? Like you're just getting a fountain drink because you're just walking in and getting an empty cup and then go filling.
Yeah, and sometimes like Kim will get like the roasted nut coffee something, or I'll get whatever.
It's hazelnut.
Yeah, and so there's it's just a little more inconvenient, but we also kind of like hanging around in there. It's a nice cafe. You open your notebook and do work.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, there's worse things to spend your time doing. I mean, you could be Chuck sitting on a couch.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
Just checking in. Chuck, check.
Hammond made a joke. How's he doing? He's doing all right?
He's doing all right. We're good.
He's doing all right.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Hammond made a joke in the chat that only like 8 of us will get, but it's really funny, and I want to call it out. Chuck is doing his best Stacy imitation from last year's
Oh,
TMS
that's
Vegas.
perfect. That's dead on.
There were so many times we'd look over and Hammond's wife Stacy is just on her phone while all the nerds are playing board games or recording a task or something like that.
Yeah, it's perfect. You are the Stacy of today's program. Congratulations.
Yes.
Someone,
I love it.
Someone had to do it. Quick question from Steve. It's a comics question. He wrote this in. By the way, these calls, these voicemails, these texts, they all come to us at voicecast.app/TMS. This one says, "Hey, Scott, I know you're a big fan of post-apocalyptic stories. I was wondering if you've ever read the original Old Man Logan story from Wolverine Volume 3, issues 66 through 72, plus giant-sized Wolverine 1. If you have read it, what did you think of it? If you haven't read it, I strongly encourage you." Didn't we talk about this?
yeah.
We answered this question last week. Yeah.
Why do I still have... Oh, I'm on the wrong page. That's why.
Yeah, maybe look at April 1st.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Just kidding. There's your April Fool's joke.
Yeah,
everybody.
I was on the
There it
wrong
is.
tab that whole time. That's wonderful. Well done, everybody.
Yeah.
You know what threw me?
Right on air light there.
Is we had a call from Les last time.
Oh, and so okay.
Yeah, so-
that's really funny.
so it worked.
You had played so you've been on that tab for much longer than we even realized.
Yeah, but
'cause
that clip was the right clip. It's just that he sent us another one last week, and it worked there too. So in my head, I'm like, no, I'm on the right tab. Everything's fine.
That's great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, so this is actually the one I meant to read. You ready for this?
Okay.
I'm ready.
Says YouTube keep. This is from LSTS, or sorry,
No,
LTST.
that's just love the show though. LTST.
Oh shit! I thought that was his name. You're right.
Maybe it is. You know what? Maybe it is. Larry the small
Toad. I don't know.
Yeah.
Larry the Small Toad. You two keep mentioning Timu with something with something the lesser of something bigger. Not quite sure what that means.
Oh, like basically we'll say, oh yeah, that dude is the Timo Christian Bale.
Gotcha.
Timu Christian Bale.
right.
Gotcha. All right. It says, I work for the USPS in a sorting facility. When Timu first appeared, we would get in containers and containers full of Timu packages. Easy to notice because of the orange and white packaging. As the months went on, we saw less and less of the packages, and today I can't remember the last time I saw one. So theoretically, Timu in the shitter.
Oh,
Yeah,
I doubt it.
like it.
Yeah.
I doubt it's true, but it seems like that's a big drop off unless they're using
I was
UPS.
gonna say unless they've changed their packaging.
Yeah.
Oh, that might
They're
be.
not orange and white anymore.
Oh yeah, good point.
Or, people, when it, first became a thing, everybody was ordering off Temu, and now people are starting to realize that, oh, this is garbage.
It's kind of bad.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly, yes.
Did you see-
Burrito rug I bought, blanket is falling apart at the edges. And
I haven't hung it up yet, but I have that big $5 bill or $100 bill. It's not up yet. I do like that. It's supposed to be a rug. It is abysmally stupid as a rug. It will never work as a rug. No one should ever put it on their floor. It is made out of nothing. But to hang it on the wall and have it be a giant, oversized dollar is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Wait, what is Franklin on? $100.
Yeah, $100.
It's on the
Yeah.
$100 bill.
$100 bill, that's what it is.
A Benjamin.
Yeah, I wouldn't have bought a rug with $1 on it. That would have been weird.
Right.
But like that tortilla rug thing or blanket thing I had, what a
Yeah,
waste.
yeah.
So stupid.
It
Yeah, you
looked
have to
so
tell
fun.
people it's a tortilla when they look at it. It's when you know it's a tortilla, it's like, oh, that's kind of funny. And to wrap yourself in a tortilla is it's funny. But you always have to say, see this? Yep, it's a tortilla, by the way.
Because it looks like a diarrhea rag.
It does. It just looks like a blanket that needs to be washed.
Yeah.
That's
It's freaking foul, man.
someone was incontinent on or something.
Have you ever, Amy, bought a Temu thing?
I have not. I have not bought a Temu thing. I did buy, I want to say I bought a couple things off Wish and quickly learned my lesson back when, you remember Wish?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's what we used to say is that's the Wish version of whatever. Now people say
No,
Temu
it's
version
Temu.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they're the same. Maybe Wish just rebranded as Temu.
Yeah. Maybe that was their wish.
Yeah, there we go. Their wish was granted.
It's good stuff. It's good
Which
stuff.
is the Temu Amazon.
Yeah, there you go.
Temu.
There you
The
go.
Temu.
Exactly. All right. Well, we've done it all. Oh, one final note before I do a couple of news stories, and then we're going to read this with, you guessed it, Amy. She's right here. She's ready to go.
Live.
Yeah, live, right? Can you believe it? I want to tell you about this weird thing. So we're in my mom's my mom is still in the PT center. To give people an update real quick, not a ton of progress, a little bit, but not near enough for the month she's been there. So now we're just talking about what's next, right? In case like the insurance company says, all right, that's it. No more PT. She's not progressing, because that could happen. So that means that there's a very good chance she could go into long-term care of some sort or some other things. It's all a bunch of stuff right now. It's all hanging around our heads. We don't know. We're working on it. That's what's going on. Mm-hmm. And I'll admit it's been very stressful. That's where we were yesterday. We met with like the PT advisor and the doctor and the nurse staff and all the people there, social workers, all this stuff, just talking about what options are there and trying to understand the best we can her current status and all this stuff. Because we ain't getting it from John, I can tell you that. Anyway, he's a huge pain in the butt.
Yeah.
But I also get he is fiercely in love with my mother and wants very much to say things like, she'll be up and walking in no time.
Yeah.
Like, John, she's not walking probably ever again.
Right. Positive attitude, but it's also a little bit of closeness blindness.
Yeah,
kind of
and denial as a result. So it's kind of frustrating because we're trying to balance all that. But anyway, we're basically letting the professionals tell us what the deal is. He doesn't like any of that because they're being honest, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, long and the short of it, my mom's been pretty stoned lately because they got her on all kinds of wacko drugs all the time. And here's my favorite thing that's happened so far. We're sitting there and she's laying in her bed and I asked her some question, totally unrelated. And she's talking, she's answering me and she's right in the middle of the sentence. And then immediately goes, those two drawings up there. Like in the middle of the conversation. It's kind of like saying, well, I had chicken and beef last week, and those two drawings up there. It's like that. Like totally out of nowhere. And she points.
Abrupt.
She points at these two colored pages that these twin kids in their neighborhood brought. Super cute. It's like, hope you feel better, blah, blah, blah.
Aww.
And it was this really sweet, like, image of a dog that's kind of an ice cream cone inside of a cone. And anyway, it's from some book. I don't know where it was from. But the kids colored it. And she goes, which one of those is more artistic? And I said, well, what do you mean, Mom? She goes, well, the one on the left, and this is what's crazy, is this seems like a weird thing for her to jump to, but she's very sharp about what she's talking about and can see it, and she's got great vision. I don't know why I got so screwed on the vision on my eyes, but she's got great eyes. And she says, well, the ones, everything's colored perfectly in the lines. There's no going out of the lines. And the other one is crazy colors, and there's some out of the lines, but it's also really shocking colors and stuff you would normally not see. For like the cone is a bright red and the other one's like a soft normal brown or whatever. Well, apparently, so these are they're twins. So the idea is that they did it so differently. Which one's the more artistic kid? And I said, gotcha. The likelihood of which of these kids would show more artistic talent down the road would be the messy one, would be the one that's taking chances, going outside the lines, thinking outside the box, all this sort of stuff. And she looks at John and she goes, I told you. And I went, what happened here? She goes, oh my God. He thinks it's the perfect one, but he doesn't understand because nobody can draw in his house. And I said, oh man, did we walk into it? Like, is this a firestorm it's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Like a long running argument.
Yeah. And he was dead set on like, this is the one that's the artist because to me it's pleasing and right and normal, but that's his brain. And my mom's like, I've got multiple creative visual children who have all shown that to be not the case. This is the safe way. This over here is the stretch your brain way. So therefore this. So she was so adamant about it. She was like, and she kept doing it. John, see?
I want to back up though. You made a statement like no one can draw in their house. Like I think I know what you meant, which was like nobody has that as a skill or talent.
Yeah, and that's her
it
words.
Sounded like John's house is like Footloose, but for drawing. Like, it's like there will be no crayons.
All right, I'm sad to say that that's closer to the truth than not.
Oh dear,
because he would have given no purchase for that sort of thing with those kids growing up. That would have seemed frivolous. It's one of those deals.
Yeah.
And my mom totally opposite. My dad definitely the opposite. And so that's definitely like one of the reasons there's so much friction with him. Is they just think differently. The other thing that happened this week is it was like we are in there laughing with my mom. Mm-hmm. We are a laughing family. We have always been. Wendy and I are cracking up. We're cracking her up. She's cracking us up. This is the Johnson way. We don't sit there all stern-faced.
Yeah.
Right.
John never laughs at anything and is, in fact, annoyed that we're in there laughing. He thinks that's bad.
Okay.
So he's like annoyed that we're all having a good time, and you can see it in his face. And when he left the room, I said to Wendy and my mom, or my mom wasn't really listening. I said, Wendy, I was just thinking, have we ever seen him laugh? And all of us looked like dumbstruck animals in the headlights. We were like, no.
Oh, you should take it as a
Really?
personal
Never
challenge.
laughed. And then somebody said, no, I think I've heard him laugh. I said, was it like a sarcastic grunt? Not really like a belly, haha, I'm here. I'm sharing a laugh with friends and loved ones. And he went, yeah, I guess you're right. And then we were all kind of like,
my God.
he never laughs. So see, this is what we're up against, that kind of stuff.
You should take it as a personal challenge. Be like,
To make him
okay,
laugh?
Oh, yeah.
okay, now like a secret, like maybe like even like a family contest, like
Who can make John laugh?
who can make
First
John
one
laugh?
gets him to laugh.
Yeah, wins some kind of prize.
It feels insurmountable knowing what I know about him, but I suppose it's possible. He did kind of go in the middle of us trying to feed her. We were trying to feed her something. She goes, I'm not hungry anymore, or something. And he goes, like that. I'm like, that isn't. I looked at Wendy. I'm like, that's not a laugh. That's not laughing.
No, it sounds like he's laughing, like he's meanly chuckling at her, like a sneer kind of thing.
Yeah, not a laugh, not a true laugh.
No.
One from the heart, one from the
Gosh.
soul. But we're not going to change for that. We're all like, laugh until you can't. Like that's what we're
oh,
doing.
for
Exactly.
sure. Yeah.
And she still giggles. I can make my mom laugh even when she's stoned and out of it and barely paying attention. I can get her laughing. That to me is way more important than going or whatever GERD noise he made.
Right, exactly. They say that laughter is the best medicine.
That's what
Scott.
they say.
So,
I've heard that.
Yeah,
before.
they say that.
Yeah, those guys with their statements and their whatnot.
Yeah. It is really hard though. I get what you're saying, like how he's to be generous to him, right? Like we're gonna assume that she's gonna be up and walking, like trying to think positively, but it's misguided, right? Because the reality is she likely won't.
She probably will not. No, at the most she'll have a need for people to move her to a chair all the time. Like that's the highest current expectation the doctors have.
Yeah.
And I tend to buy into what doctors say. Now, doesn't mean that she can't miraculously one day go, I'm going to go for it.
Yeah.
And you're all going to be shocked. I'm going to be 110 and running. Or, she could do that.
Right.
I'm not saying that's out of the window of probability, but, it's possible, not probable.
Right.
That's all.
And the thing is, like, when you have somebody who's like aggressively positive that way, it can have an adverse effect on the person.
Actually negative.
Right? It's like because there's a guilt factor, there's a shame factor involved. Like, so, if I'm not doing what John thinks I should be doing, then I have failed in some way. Do you know what I mean?
It's like Kim sitting there and she goes, can I help you take your pills? Because my mom was struggling with taking her pills. She's kind of nauseous, not really eating as much as she should and all this. And he's standing there and he goes, no, she can do this. And she goes, Mom, can I just maybe I can put them on your tongue. I can help you get these down. John goes, no, she can do it herself. And then Kim goes,
God.
Kim goes, well, tell you what, John, the meeting's starting because we were leaving to go have the meeting. He had to be at that or he wanted to be because he needs to always be in control, right?
Of course.
So we said, we're off. We're going to go do this. And Kim says, I'll take care of her. It'll be all right. And he goes, no. And pulls his hand back and she goes, but John, you'll be late for your meeting. Puts the pills in her hands and runs. Because he realized he had to be in the meeting.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So it's just like he's really struggling. He's 94. He's almost 95. Like all this stuff is what it is. The important thing is everybody's getting to see my mom. Even when he says, I don't know if she's up to it. We don't care. We're going in. And she's always up for it.
Absolutely.
She's always stoked to see everybody. He just has a control thing.
Yeah.
His whole life he's been like that. And I ain't having any. So
yeah.
Wendy neither. Like Wendy and I are both the two lanky white folks in the family, all the Koreans with us. We're just like look at him going, there's like 30 of us to one of you, dude.
And you are also old.
Yeah. You are so outnumbered, dude.
And we're trying to be cognizant of his needs and his we're doing all that. What we're really doing now is deferring to the experts through what we want to have done. We know they want to have done. So we're putting it on them so that his anger isn't this baseline, their family never wants me to bep, bep. Instead it's like, oh, these experts, what do they know? So then it's a little less on us and therefore a little less on mom and
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a whole thing. We're doing what we got to do. All right, well, enough of that. Let's move on to some news. Today's news is brought to you by
The great toilet plugging of 2025.
Oh, also John related. We're on our way out of the health facility thing, PT thing, and no one's there. It's Sunday. It's like hardly anybody's there. And we've done visiting her. John leaves just before us, and as we come out of the main lobby, he emerges from the bathroom. I hear the, he finished.
Yeah.
And he's standing out there, and we're like, all right, John, I got to go. I got to pee real bad, though, so let me hop in there real quick. I go in that room. I turn on the light. There is the biggest plug toilet water at the edge nightmare you've ever seen in your life.
I was going to say he James Marsden'd it.
Yeah, he did. 100% he did. And I went, nope. And I turned and left. But also, this is just
I can go in the lobby or I'll go when I get home. Yeah.
This is just a side note. What I saw in there.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, I don't know what 95-year-olds do with their digestive system. What I saw was not human. It was not normal. I don't want to describe it. I'm not trying to gross anybody out, but that didn't look like a good diet to me. It looked like, I'll just tell you, it looked like a giant granite rock had been jammed into this toilet. Oof. And I don't know what happened. I didn't say anything. There's no staff to talk to. So I was just like, I guess they'll deal with it. I'm sure they have worse problems than this all the time. So
if that's what's in his butt, that might
somebody wave when I can unmute, by the way.
Oh, yeah. You can unmute now. Story over. All right, let's get into the news here. We got a few things. We'll probably get at least one of these in. Jessica Simpson, remember her whole deal?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she liked the chicken of the sea because it was chicken.
Yeah, because it was chicken. And, I guess she was in the MTV thing she was big for, and then...
Yeah, she was married to that guy from 98 Degrees, Lachey, right? Nick Lachey?
Oh, there it is.
That sounds familiar.
And they had a reality show about their lives or something.
That was the reality show where, exactly. Where
I never saw a minute of that.
Didn't she like...
The only minute I saw was the chicken of the sea clip because they played it all the time on the Soup.
Yeah,
would never watch an episode of that, whatever that show was.
I remember it being a big deal that like she was wearing mom jeans. Like that's my Jessica Simpson.
Really? Okay.
That was a big deal. Like Jessica
something
Simpson
familiar about that.
and mom jeans. I don't know.
I don't know what that is either, but there's something familiar about that.
Yeah.
But she eventually was in that Beverly Dukes of Hazzard movie.
Oh, she was Daisy Duke.
She was Daisy Duke in her Daisy Dukes, and that was fine and everything. Well, now we have a brand new, hot, off the presses story about Jessica Simpson in the year 2025. She has been drinking snake sperm to help her vocals.
As one does. Yeah.
Get this into the daily music headlines, Brian.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
this is a great story.
God, no kidding. Well, actually, it's funny because I put this in here because it did come up in the when we were coming up with stories, pulling up the stories for daily music headlines. Ham and I looked at this and I said, I'm already doing a story about Donald Trump. I can't do two unsavory stories in one episode.
Yeah. This is perhaps the least savory of stories this month.
Sadly, yes. Yes.
Her secret to good vocals, snake sperm. In a silly Instagram reel she shared over the weekend, Simpson said that she's been taking syrup-like supplements.
Ooh.
Gross, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, let's do a quick check on Chuck after this revelation.
Yeah.
How you doing, Chuck? Okay.
Are you done with your coffee now, Chuck?
Yeah.
I guess he can't hear me.
No, he can't hear you.
He's very not okay about that.
It's not a great story. It says here, its contents were a mystery until a recent Google search. They're like, what am I drinking? It's this Chinese herb thing. I don't know why I'm doing that voice.
Because that's what she sounds like.
Yeah.
That's pretty accurate. Yeah.
She's like, I don't know. My vocal coach told me to drink it, Simpson explained in the clip. And they Googled it, and it's snake sperm. It's like a honey, she says, letting out a laugh.
Nope, it's not like a honey. Nope.
No.
I'd let out a barf. It would break my streak.
Very much not like a, yeah.
If you want a good vocal, it says, if you want a good vocal, you got to drink snake sperm, she added.
Well,
no, I really don't.
Yeah. Then I guess we're all just not going to have as good vocals as Jessica Simpson then.
Is she known for her singing? I guess I don't know.
I mean, she sings.
I guess so. I mean, obviously because of this, but I didn't know that was part of her. I thought she just was. I don't know what I thought.
Yeah, that she was just celebrity for celebrity's sake kind of thing.
Yeah, like the Hills or the.
No, she was originally a singer, like her sister Ashley, who famously lip synced on SNL and did a barn dance to get off the stage when they played the wrong lip sync clip.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, everybody's flipping out about why Morgan Wallen left SNL so in a huff.
Right, just like abruptly left the stage.
Yeah, and everybody's trying to tie it to his Instagram post, and they think he was trying to be all, mega hat or something. But I'm convinced, because I've seen this face before on myself, that I think he had to poo. That's what I think.
Oh, really? Well, that's what Kenan Thompson thought. Kenan said, I think he had to go to the potty.
Yeah.
Is what he was quoted saying.
I wouldn't be surprised. That face he was making was a face I would make and have made when there needs to be a quick exit, because, sometimes nature calls at a time you don't need it the most. And
yeah.
I'm not ready to pile on him yet for this. I think perhaps maybe he needed to poo.
Yeah. I mean, it would have been much worse if he had
pooped up
himself
there
on stage.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
We've
seen that in the SNL 100 anniversary show. Man, that would be the highlight.
But you could always pretend it was like I don't know. I would, if it were me, I would have circled through the group and out the back. That's what I would have done.
Exactly.
Instead, he stormed out in front.
Making your way until you could just kind of get down on your hands and knees and crawl back behind the drum kit.
Yeah, that's how I would have handled it. But I mean, when you're in the moment.
Yeah, sometimes you panic and your brain just tells you to do weird things, I guess. Yeah.
You got to go.
Nobody wants to be that dog from the Westminster Dog Show, though.
No.
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah. I remember that. Ain't nobody
Oh,
with
he's
that.
just a little overexcited. Or Tracy Morgan at the Knicks game or whatever it was.
Oh, yeah, the poor guy barfing in front of everybody at the game.
Oh, my God.
That was so sad.
Poor guy.
I felt bad
Tracy
for
Morgan.
him because I just thought, man, is there a worse place to do that? Courtside with the other celebrities. Obviously, cameras are already on you.
Oh, camera's already on because it's a televised game, and the reporter has to say, "Oh, looks like we've had some sort of illness from Tracy Morgan.
Yeah.
We're gonna cut to a commercial."
Oh, no.
What if he yelled Liz Lemon in the middle of it?
Trying to come up with a way to make that work. You did it.
Oh, we have an update. Chuck has left the building. My guess is all that coffee and all this talk has led him to have to go pee.
Yep.
Wow.
No Chuck for a moment.
I love the zoom in on the Chuck cam.
Yeah, little zoom in there. He's out. But we have this new bathroom in the studio basement, and he's in good hands in there. I can promise you that. All right, that is going to do it for today's news. We're going to take a break. When we come back from this break, Amy is here to give us recommendations for reading. We have her clip already. We are set to go. It's going to be great. Stick around for that. Brian, let's play a song and take a break.
Yeah, we're going to hear something from Theo Black. Theo Black is the musical project of a woman named Katie Lynch, a Dundee-based alternative artist known for very atmospheric and introspective sound. She, this is, her second album, I believe, and this is a brand new release. Brand new EP, and the whole thing's out right now, so you can get the whole thing. This is great. This is a really cool song called Peach Sky. Go check it out. Theo Black is what you're going to look for.
Coke's a natural, wholesome blending of pure food flavors. I guess that's why everyone likes the refreshing new feeling you get, only from not too sweet Coca-Cola.
I'm dead now. Sorry about that.
And we're back. Who was that again?
That was Theo Bleak. I think I said it right the first couple times, and then right before we cut to the song, I said Theo Black. Theo Bleak. The brand new EP is called Bad Luck is Two Yellow Flowers. It's available on Polymoon Records, and that was the song Peach Sky.
Man, having a name like Bleak, that's rough.
Bleak.
Yeah.
Yes.
People
But it's,
gonna,
her real name is Katie Lynch. I don't know why she performs as Theo Bleak, but
it is what it is.
there you
Hey,
go.
you
It's
know.
what it is.
Yeah, we're gonna
It
have
was
to
a
take
choice.
it.
It's so that when she comes out on stage, somebody can go, Theo!
Oh, we have the return of Chuck. Let's get the cam on here. Where he's coming back. He's going to have a seat.
Did he have to go to
there he
God's
is.
country? Is that where you
There he is. See? Look at that beard, man. He claims he kept the beard going so that we could see it before he really inevitably gets rid of it before Vegas or something. So I think you should keep it.
Stuff with it, Chuck. Now you've got this great power. Like at TMS Vegas, you can the first day just cut like the sides of it down.
Oh yeah, he's got this. So I'll relay this info.
Cut the middle.
You just start shaving. Like day 1, you show up with that. Day 2, you show up with just like a little bit missing. Next day, mustache is gone.
Middle, like Wolverine.
Yeah, Wolverine cut. What do you think of that?
Yeah, ironically, he had planned to kind of do that here. And just like throughout the show, just like take off a little bit more of it, see if anybody noticed. You know,
that's why he disappeared to the bathroom. We just didn't notice any difference.
Yeah, we just haven't seen the major cut yet. But
right.
Well, it's good to see him back. And also, just for the fun thing, I haven't been moving stuff around, and I forgot I left it there. But the on-air light is right next to him. You want to hold that up? Here, hold on. There you go. See? Here, let me get a close up there. Although it says
he's holding it backwards.
Yeah, well, I think the video's. I think it's there. You go. Actually, he's holding it really backwards now for us, but for you, it's correct.
Yeah,
everything's flipped.
Oh, for me, right? Because I see the flip, but everybody watching sees the right.
I don't think it's supposed to be that way, but as you recall, when we started the show, she was upside down. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Well, hey, let's get to this. The segment. We always have a little intro for it, so I'm going to play it right here. Here we go.
One of the things that I enjoy also is reading.
That music can only mean one thing. It's time for Read This, a chance to remind each other how important it is to read books. And we have with us, of course, as we have in the entire show so far, Amy Robinson. Hi, Amy.
Hi, friends.
Oh, hi. So you had to say hi, friends, or else what are we doing?
It's the beginning of my segment. That's how it starts.
That's how it begins.
Yeah.
Let's see how it ends.
Ooh.
Amy, of course, reading books all the time. Very busy reader. And finds stuff that we like or that we might like here on the show. Tell us about what we're doing today.
Yeah, so I sent you a clip for this. This is one of those finds I just came across accidentally, interestingly enough. And it was suggested to me, I think, probably on Audible.
Oh,
and
nice.
I thought it sounded funky. So, yeah, you can go ahead and just play the clip.
Here's your clip.
As soon as I pried open one of the crates, I knew something was wrong. Someone had tampered with my shipping crates. With the crowbar still in my hand, I examined the mess. The glass and copper antiques that had been carefully wrapped in old newspapers were now exposed. There could be no doubt that someone had rifled through the contents. The strange thing was, nothing seemed to be missing. Even the jar containing a small amount of gold was there. Instead, as I removed the glassware and pushed aside the tangle of newspaper padding, I saw that something had been added. A 3-foot stone gargoyle stared up at me from the wreckage that used to be carefully organized antique alchemy artifacts. The gray creature looked similar to the famous Thinker gargoyle, with short horns and folded wings. The main difference was that this gargoyle held an old, leather-bound book in his arms. That was odd. I leaned in for a closer look. There was something... The gargoyle blinked. My fist tensed around the crowbar. I stumbled backward, falling into the large couch. I laughed at myself. I'd seen a fair share of magic shows in my time. I knew what this gargoyle was. You're the best-looking automaton I've ever seen. I am no automaton, a deep voice emanating from the automaton said. He climbed out of the crate onto the hardwood floor. I gasped and fell off the edge of the couch.
This is right up my alley.
Yeah.
What do we got here?
Yeah.
This is called The Accidental Alchemist by Gigi Pandian. And it's a really interesting, modern, but also kind of supernatural stuff going on. Obviously, there's a gargoyle coming to life book. This woman buys a house in Portland, Oregon, and it's a major fixer-upper. It's been an abandoned house for years and years, and no one in their local community will go near the house because they think it's haunted. And she
like
says,
a good haunt.
That's perfect.
Sure.
And, so she buys the house as a fixer-upper, and then she starts unpacking her shipping crates, and there's a living gargoyle that has stowed away in her items.
Ooh, very nice. There's 5 books here in this series?
Yeah.
How far have you gotten?
Only the first one.
Just the first?
Yeah.
Okay.
Only the first one so far. But yeah, it's a fun little read. It's got a good little whodunit mystery going on, and also, some plausible yet clearly bullshitty explanations of what alchemy is. And like I say, it's one of those things that's like an effort to make it sound like it could be possible. You know what I mean? Like it's like this magical thing that we all know is make believe, but it makes it sound like it's science.
I like that. It's like it's not exactly the same, but like Star Trek and its technobabble tries to have a semblance of science in it and that sort of thing. I like it when magic tries to do that too. It's kind of cool.
Right, exactly. It makes it gives you a little bit of permission to even more suspend your disbelief, right? And just kind of go along with, okay, in this world, this is what happened.
You know what I really like? The freaking cover art style is so
I know.
rad.
That's so cool.
Isn't that cool?
great?
I love that kind of what do you call that?
Gothic-y kind of
that ink stuff where it's super reliefy, like dark contrast. I love whatever that style's called. There's probably a word for it and I don't know it, but yeah, all of them kind of have the same style, which I also am a huge fan with series where they don't where it felt like it all got written at once.
Yeah.
And they all just are consistent, and I just love that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's I did actually read the first chapter of the second book, which is The Masquerading Magician, because you get the first chapter of the second book a lot of times when you read something on Audible. And and it was good. It was just as engaging as the first book.
Nice.
There are points in the book where it gets a little bit much. I'm like, okay, I don't actually need all the ingredients that you put in your tea. I don't actually need to know all of that. But it's one of the funny things about this is the gargoyle is French. And so he has a very French accent.
Oh, shit.
And also, he eats. And
like the French.
Oui.
Yeah, they do.
And,
baguettes, from what I hear.
Yeah, baguettes and cheese and wine and, not German stuff, though.
Right. No.
Oui.
But
Poo-poo.
yeah, no. One of the first things he asks her is if she has any food. And she has taken to veganism, and so he says, "Oh mon Dieu," it's really, really funny. Like she is a vegan, and he's like, "Oh, all right, I cook. Bring me these ingredients, and I cook."
I don't think the French are fond of. They like their duck and their meat, don't they?
Yeah, they like.
I'm sure there's a vegan French person.
Bacon and butter.
Of course, there's
to be, butter in everything. In
but for whatever reason, I never go, those French vegans. Like, I just don't think about it.
Yeah, French vegans, exactly.
It's just not in my mind. But I think Patrick these days has to eat a little better than he used to because of some gut issues. How you like that, Patrick? Doing a little. You don't have HIPAA in France. I can say whatever I want about your guts. But anyway, I don't want to besmirch.
Healthy.
I don't want to besmirch the entire, the entire French countryside. If any of you want to write in and correct me on how many vegans there are, that'd be fine. Do it. Get it done.
Sure. Is there a number? There's got to be a number out there published.
Yeah, sure. Got to be. Well, that's great. Would you say this is like more geared toward younger audiences, older?
Younger, YA.
I think it is. Right. I think it probably would be somewhere. It's a little bit more mature than YA because there are no spicy scenes in there, but
there's no hot French goblin on lady action.
Ew, no.
Oh man, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
He ripped open the straps of her bodice and.
I don't know why I knew bodice was coming. I knew it though.
Yeah, it's like a word it's only in novels that have Fabio on the cover.
Yeah.
Basically.
Why is bodice just such an easy target? I don't even know what is a bodice. Is it the tight thing that holds your waist?
It's girdly kind of thing.
Okay. It doesn't. Well, so that's a corset, but yeah, the specifically if you have a dress, the bodice is what your torso is in, the part of the dress that contains your torso.
Okay, so like neck to waist,
right?
So your body.
Yes,
it's probably some source in the words there.
Yeah,
right. Bodice.
Right.
It's
See, this is the other reason we have Amy here is that again, this is stuff that we'd normally get in chat. We'd have to say like 4 minutes from now, but now she's here and we can get it right away.
Oh, that reminds me. You should send me those pictures of those those lady dresses you're making in.
Oh, yeah.
Can you send me that?
Yeah,
That reminds us because that's kind of a bodice, right?
Yeah, they
Lady
are.
dresses.
So
Lady dresses.
So sorry, I should clarify. She's doing some sculpting of some mugs, like they're mugs, right? Is the idea?
They are mugs.
But they look like these really ornate, like like neck to waist looking lady things. I don't know what to call them. I'm doing a terrible job of describing this.
But Chuck will send you the picture. It'll be there in a
all
second.
right, Chuck has sent me photos.
Have some context.
Oh, we didn't show yet? Sorry, while we're thinking about it, Chuck sent me...
there's the place.
Yeah, let me zoom in a little. Wow. So right out their window. Man, the freeway was kind of empty today. Or was that yesterday? Might have been yesterday. Anyway, that's the OCD and Anxiety Treatment Center that is literally right out your window. But it must have felt good if you thought like anxiety was coming.
Yeah.
And you're like, what are we going to do?
Whatever will we do?
Or if Chuck started counting his steps or washing his hands 400 times.
Yeah.
Right.
Go right to the OCD Anxiety Treatment Center across the street.
Just to walk across the parking lot.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. The unfortunate thing is how many
steps, by the way.
How many cracks he would have to avoid in the pavement.
Okay, here we are. This is okay. I'm excited to show this because this blew our minds last night. She was sharing this during dinner. Just kind of the projects they're working on. Chuck had some cool stuff too. Okay, Chuck, it's fine. Good, cool stuff.
Oh, that's so cool.
Look at these. Aren't these rad? And they're at these. Is it the stage they're at right now? Is what we're seeing here?
Yes, that's where they are right now. They are a work in progress, but yes. So they've just come out of the bisque kiln. So they're hardened and so they've been fired once, but they need surface decoration and glaze and whatnot, and then I'll put them back through and high fired them.
I know Brian likes a good bisque, right, Brian?
Yeah.
Big
I
bisque.
do like a good bisque.
Yeah.
different kind of bisque here, but
bisque,
still.
yeah.
So you could call this a bodice. This one in the middle is more like a ceremonial dress thing.
Yeah. So I'll give a full description. So the one on the right is meant to be a corset, and it's kind of up on a little pedestal, and it's going to look kind of
buttons,
old-fashioned-y. Yeah. What you can't see is in the back of it, I actually used high-fire wire and put little wire loops on the back, and when it's all finished,
that's something else I learned yesterday, Brian. What high-fire wire is? I learned about that. That was cool.
Wire that's good under high temperatures, kind of thing.
It sounds way cooler than really all it is. Is it won't melt. But,
it does,
but also it made me say, so I was like, wait, that my old Mac used high fire wire to connect my drives to it.
It does.
The first iPod I had to connect with high fire wire.
That's right. That one looks real good. And then this one in the middle, describe this.
So the one in the middle is actually that's where the series of mugs is going to end up, and that is actually RBG's descent collar.
Ooh.
So
RBG.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Oh, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Duh. I knew that.
She had a special collar that she would wear whenever they would be issuing a ruling that she was dissenting on. Mm-hmm. And that was her dissent collar. And so the series is the beginning. It's actually going to be 5 mugs. There's 2 other mugs there that are, they're also out of bisque, but I don't have a photo of them because they went into bisque as we were traveling to Utah.
Into bisque.
So,
got it.
Yeah. But the 2 other mugs are also, ladies' garments. So anyway, we start with the corset, and then we move to the one on the left there that you can see. It's kind of like a 50s style dress.
Yeah, I love that one.
I do too. That one, honestly, I just absolutely love how that one is starting to turn out.
And you were saying at the end of it all, there might be other elements like a bow or something that wouldn't be baked.
Yeah. So on the corset mug, when it's all finished, I'm going to put actual cloth ribbon through and to lace up the corset.
That's
so
cool.
It's going to be really,
That's really cool.
I just love how the handle of the mug is just the perfect, arm on the hip kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. Yep. That's what it was. That's what I was going for.
It's really cool. Yeah. I can't wait to see these when these are done. By the way, little known fact: when Ruth Bader Ginsburg was in charge of a parochial school, they called her Master Bader Ginsburg. Did you know that? Just kidding. That's a joke. That's a terrible joke.
That's true.
A terrible joke, and pretend I never said it. Pretend you never heard it. All right, excellent. Well, this is fantastic. Why is?
Well, the series is going to be, like I say, it starts with a corset and then it goes up through kind of history. We have the 50s dress, and then one of them is going to be a little smaller mug, and it's going to be Ruby Bridges' little jumper that she wore. For those who don't know, Ruby Bridges was the first black girl to go to school like after segregation ended, and she was
famous photos of her and
all
stuff.
those photos, that all the photos that people's grandparents don't want don't want people to see because they don't want to be recognized as a person throwing rocks.
Especially that
Rudy
yelling
Bridges.
lady. She's always in those photos.
Yeah, I think she was in your Uber earlier. Brian.
You might have had her.
I think so, yeah. Sounds like she might have been the one. Jeez.
But then after that, I've got one that's going to be Sally Ride's astronaut uniform. And then the final one in the series is going to be the RBG descent collar. And the name of the series is When There Are Nine. And that is because RBG was giving an interview and someone asked her, when will it be enough women on the Supreme Court? And she said, when there are 9. And, of course, they kind of looked at her askance, and she said, why not? There have been 9 men.
Yeah, why not? Why does that sound so crazy?
Yeah.
Shouldn't sound so crazy.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So I just, it was just one of those, I woke up, in the morning with a sudden inspiration, and for once it was a good idea. Oftentimes those ideas are kind of garbage, but as you've pointed out before on the show, right? Like wake up at 3 a.m. and go, oh my God, that's brilliant. And then it's
Write
like,
it down.
what was I thinking? But these are, I think this is a really cool idea, and I'm really excited to bring them to life. So,
well, it's very cool. And of course was a sidetrack from the book, but that's fine. We don't care. We want good books. We want good pottery.
yeah.
And bad jokes about Ruth Bader Ginsburg's name.
Right.
So we got all 3.
All of it.
So again, this is the Accidental Alchemist mystery series, book 1. You can get it on Amazon, by the way, for Kindle's only $5 right now. So good deal. And then, of course, if you want paperback, they have that as well. Right around $17.
I also want to reiterate my endorsement of public libraries by pointing out that the Salt Lake City Public Library, holy shit.
Yeah, right?
Like, that thing is amazing.
Yeah, it's really cool. I don't talk about it enough. The only problem with it, it's not really a problem, but it's not a problem for me. But because it's public space, what you end up with is a lot of the unhoused folks we talked about before will hang out there, and there'll be little tent cities and stuff out front. And there's been a big fight from some to remove them and make it more, sort of family friendly. I would argue it's already family friendly as people aren't hurting anybody. So I don't think it's a big deal, but you get in there, the shape of that building is cool anyway, but you get in there, it's freaking massive.
It is. It's huge.
It's
and
so
it's like,
cool.
It's like a big atrium almost. Like, you're indoors, but you feel like almost that you're still outdoors because it's so airy. And there's a hanging sculpture from the ceiling there that's like all these little, ornate little things, and you look closer and they're butterflies, and then you look even closer and it's like the butterflies are reading books, and then you look a little bit even closer and the butterflies themselves are made of pages of the books, and so it's like the words on the page are taking flight. It is. I was just overwhelmed. I was like, there's a glass elevator. I mean, it is a really impressive space. We went to the public library because they had some of the pottery exhibits that were on the tours that we were here to see from NCECA. They were kind of spreading them out all over the place. And one of them, I don't want to say one of them, it was almost like a little scavenger hunt. Like, here, go around the library and see how many pottery pieces you can find, because they were almost all there for NCECA. But they had exhibits in some of the oddest places, which I thought was cool. There was an exhibit at a skate shop. There was an exhibit at this LGBTQ plus owned bookshop called Under the Umbrella.
Oh, that's a great little bookshop. Yeah.
It was a lovely little bookshop, and I actually told them that. I was like, you guys have the cutest little shop. If I'd had time, I probably would have bought something just because I wanted to support them.
You didn't go to King's English by chance?
No,
that bookstore? It's awesome.
We didn't.
It's so good. Such a great bookstore.
But,
I hope it stays forever. It probably won't.
Yeah, I mean, if like the bus tour that we took was like, we would get off the bus and we'd go to, most of the places were galleries, but some of them were in these sort of odd spaces, and they would say, okay, we've got like 20 minutes in this space, you need to be back on the bus, and we're grown-ups, so we're going to be on time, and the bus is going to leave at this time, and we'll leave you here. And so, nobody ever got left, so that was good. But yeah, if I was we did pick up somebody who missed her stop at a bus, so we like picked up a straggler on our bus tour. But
you're probably all over the place. The only time I could tell when an actual convention is in town, a big one at the Salt Palace, there were two ways to tell. If it was Comic-Con, it was obvious because everybody's dressed like Darth Vader or whatever. Lots of people out walking streets looking like they're a cosplay. The only other time I can tell, like I wouldn't have been able to tell with this one unless people were walking around with like arms full of, pottery.
I mean, it was a little bit obvious because a lot of people were wearing like overalls and stuff.
Yeah.
Like there were a lot of jumpsuits, a lot of overalls, a lot of dirty potters.
Well, the other one I could tell was this one. They had a dwarfism conference in Salt Lake City, and it was tons and tons of little people, and we didn't know about it. So here I am, 6'3" dodo head, walking down the road, and you'd come up to like an intersection, and like 5 little people cross, and then 4 go the other direction, and a car would go by with little people driving, and I thought,
did you suddenly feel like you're in Lilliput?
I felt like I was getting something had taken over, and this was it. Like they were rising up or something against the tall tyranny or whatever. But it was so strange to experience that. And then I went, oh, I saw a sign or something that said this way to the whatever, and they had a whole big thing, which was cool.
Yeah.
And famously, Billy Barty's from here, the actor. Little person really? Actor, yeah. So he was, he passed away, but they had a whole thing. Not a shrine, but like a dedicated thing to him, and so it was a big positive thing. But I'm a big dumb dork, and I don't know what's happening, and I was left to my imagination. I'm like, what are we doing? Is this like who's the guy that gets tied down because he fell asleep? Gulliver's Travels. Yeah, Gulliver's Travels. Exactly. I felt like I was about to get tied down or something.
Right. Yeah, that was the reference I made earlier where I said, "Did you feel like you were in Lilliput?" Yeah, that's the name of the place. But yeah,
pretty wild. Anyway, wait, that's what that is. That's from that
Lilliput. Yeah, that's what they're called. Is Lilliputians.
I don't remember that story. You know what I know about that story? That Ted Danson did an adaptation for TV once.
Yeah,
that's all I know.
And with his actual wife, right? Like, because Mary Steenburgen was in that.
Oh, did they? Is that where they met?
I don't think so. I think they probably knew each other, and then I think they were already married.
He was still with Whoopi, planning some bad choices at a party. But yeah, that's all I know about it. I just don't know enough about that book. It's like tiny little guys tying down a huge guy, and Ted Danson did it once.
I think there's a revert that one of the little, because it's that story is full of vignettes, right? And so that's one of them, and then another one is where he is tiny and
the Brobdingnagian guards or whatever.
Yeah.
Bards.
You guys know so much more about this than me.
I know it. I know. I just can't pronounce it. Brobdingnagian bards.
Brobdingnagian? That's cool.
Brobdingnagian. Yes.
That's very cool.
I wonder, are they Kiki or Booba?
We haven't talked about this so much yesterday. We got to do a Kiki Booba thing on the show.
We do.
Because Carter blew my mind with that. I'm like, I hate how old I am to just now learn that that's a thing. That's so cool. We talked about it last night. Anyway, we'll do it tomorrow on the show maybe. But anyway, there you have it. Your book this week, your homework is The Accidental Alchemist. Find it at your local library, or if you must buy it, go spend your money wisely.
Go to a local bookstore. Support an independent bookstore.
Yeah, I agree. Right. And there are plenty of them now still. All right. And even Barnes & Noble's having a rejuvenation. I think some of that stuff's good for everybody. When you see something that was falling apart before growing like that, that means good things for the book industry in general. There's a swing back.
For sure.
And Amy, your star is about to rise.
Oh, wow. That sounds exciting. I was telling y'all this story last night. It was so fun. When my son was much younger, he used to call it Bareness Noble.
Oh, Baroness Noble.
So cute.
I love it.
Baroness Noble.
I like it. As far as I'm concerned, it's as good as the other one.
Right. I mean, why wouldn't you? That's one of those things where you read it and you look at it and you're like, yep, I understand why you called it that.
Yeah, I have no problem with it.
I used to call the hotel the Ramada Inn.
That's right.
Ramada.
I've called
Inn.
That's what's happening in one of the rooms.
That's what's happening like at least 2/3 of the rooms.
Yeah. They're known for it over there,
That's right. Yes.
Well, alrighty then. Good job, as always. We're going to get out of here. A couple of quick things. Daily music headlines. We keep bringing it up, but we should probably tell people where to get it, Brian. What's going on with that?
Yeah, that makes it really easy. DailyMusicHeadlines.com is where you can subscribe. Really, really easy. Or I think you can get it on Spotify or Spreaker or any of those Apple Podcasts. But daily, quick. That's the most important thing. Quick, 5 minutes. You're in, you're out. You've learned a whole bunch about music. We had a story about Bach today. Bach still in the news, amazingly enough. Bach.
Ask your uncles, everybody. Ask your uncles what that is.
A story about who else did we talk about? There's a new, like, it seems like every day we're announcing a new music festival. God, there was one yesterday that had like every band on this is one I'd want to see. Remy Wolf, Vampire Weekend, The Last Dinner Party is like, I think I want to go up to what is it? It's like somewhere in New England and go to that festival. But yeah, no, all sorts of cool things. And it stretches all across every genre: rap, metal. We talked about Anthrax today. We talked about Miley Cyrus has a new album. So all sorts of stuff.
I bet Hammond was stoked about the Anthrax discussion. He likes them.
He made sure to pull that one in.
Yeah.
There's also a new programming, like a music building tool that is coming under fire because it lets you use AI to not to copy a band, but to copy what it feels is the essence of that band's sound. So it's like, instead of copying straight up riffs from the Beatles, you'd have that Rickenbacker guitar combo, George Harrison slidey kind of stuff. Yeah. So anyway,
that's a really interesting discussion point.
It is
because on the one hand I'm like, you could do something interesting with that,
right?
But
like,
then
let's say you're there've been some great cover albums where the Re-Beatles Project is one of them, where they do modern songs. There's a cover of Pink's I'm Coming Out, or Get the Party Started, I guess is the name of the song, done as the Beatles, but it's by a band that just knows the Beatles music and their style so much they're able to recreate that sound.
I love stuff like that. That's
I do
so
too.
cool.
But if there's a band that kind of needs help hearing that to be able to reproduce it themselves, and they're still going to create it organically, cool, I'm good with that. But if it's like, oh, boop, beep, 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 create a version of Flowers by Miley Cyrus, but put it in heavy metal and it cranks it out an Anthrax version of Flowers, then that's lame.
it just feels soulless when they do that.
It totally does.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I have feelings on that, but that's good. This is a show for this sort of stuff. You guys check it out.
Yeah, people learn all about it, and you don't get any opinion. You just get the news.
That's right.
Yeah,
the raw news.
dailymusicheadlines.com.
That's right.
Nice.
But if you play it backwards, you hear Paul is dead. Paul is dead. Man,
That's right.
I miss those satanic panic days.
I do too.
Although
mean,
we're having
a simpler time.
Yeah, we're having some of that now, but
Yeah.
but still,
But when you get an album and you actually had to physically stop the turntable and move it backwards on the turntable to hear it.
Yep.
Oh, that's what I miss.
yeah, that was great.
I heard a comedian. My son sent me a video of this comedian talking about how he was like, I would have kids absolutely if I could parent the way I was parented, because literally my parents were never around. My mom's favorite thing to say was "get out of my sight," and and it was true. Like, we were just feral, and and then people have said to him like, yeah, well, that was a time when it was safer then. No, it wasn't. It wasn't safer. It was just we didn't all know that there were predators freaking everywhere, and now we do.
Exactly.
I mean, all those little code Adam signs you see in stores, that happened in the 80s, folks.
Oh, yeah.
There was actually a kid named Adam, and look it up.
It was the kid. What's his name?
The hand too. Like, you'd get the posters that just had a red hand, which I think meant this was a safe place to come in and get away from bullies or somebody chasing you or something like that.
Yeah.
So you don't have to like hide in a dumpster. And
Adam Walsh, right?
Right.
Chat room. Is it the Adam Walsh kid that was what's his name? Had the whole show. America's most chased after unit. Whatever
I
it's called.
thought it was because there was a kid named Adam who got he wandered off from his mom in a supermarket or something, and he got kidnapped, and all they found was his head.
Yeah, that's Adam Walsh.
Adam Walsh,
And
yeah.
John Walsh was the host of that show. That's what inspired him to make the show,
gotcha.
because they never could find Adam, or they couldn't solve Adam's case, find out who did
Never made that connection.
Got
That's
it.
cool.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
it. It was a big deal. America's most chased after kid. I couldn't think of the name, whatever it was. It's been a while. been like 30 years. All right. Well, this is all well and good. Let's shut her down. Hey, real quick. Kim and I are doing a skim today at noon. In between a bunch of crazy. We've got I got a bomb dropped on me this morning from a client, so I got to work on that. Missing a whole day yesterday. Turns out kind of screws you up.
Yeah.
How dare you go take care of your mom?
I know.
We live in a capitalist society.
Capitalism, baby.
Nerve.
Anyway,
work to do.
So today's going to be a little bit nutty. But if you are in the Salt Lake area and you hadn't heard, we are doing a meetup.
Oh yeah.
At the Southtown Mall tonight.
Going old school, baby.
Going old school. There's an arcade there, a great big one. We're going to go do some fun stuff there and just hang out and meet and greet and all that. Katie Data will be there. Of course, the Robinsons will be there. Let's do a quick Chuck Cam check on Chuck. He'll be there. There he is. Yeah. Oh,
Hammond says he'll be there. Good. I was going to actually say I need to shout out to Hammond because he actually took us out for dinner while we were downtown. And Hammond, remind me the name of the place we went to eat because it was really tasty.
Not Blue Iguana.
No, we've eaten
Panera Bread.
We've eaten at Blue. We have eaten at Blue Iguana twice though. That place was.
Blue Iguana is legit,
tasty.
man.
It's real good.
So freaking good. It's Mexican food, and it's just about the best that you could find here. I'm sure there are other little places I don't know about, but it's so good.
Yeah.
Let's see what he says. He may have answered by now.
Oh, Market Street.
Market Street Grill's amazing.
Really, really good.
Yeah,
really
they're
tasty.
great. That whole gastronomy restaurant, not chain, but they're like a group down there.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing series of restaurants.
So good. I had like the mushroom risotto and we had crab cakes and as an appetizer and everything. It was very I felt fancy.
Yeah, but just keep in mind, you want to come move to Utah. It's terrible here.
Oh yeah, no.
We got have you seen my 12 wives? They're all everywhere. They're all over the place.
And by the way, all of those pictures you see with like the mountains everywhere, that's just a green screen.
Yeah, none of that's real.
Yeah. I mean,
that whole clean city thing.
Planes as far as the eye can see.
Yeah, forget all that stuff I said about how clean our streets are. All right. Yeah. Keep prices low. Stay in California.
Colorado's stupid. Tell your friends.
Yeah. Yeah, Brian, they have the same problem we're having. In fact, you've had it sooner than we did, and it's like, it sucks. Stay where you're at. Or keep going to, everybody move to Austin. That's fine. Go ahead.
Yeah, Austin already ruined it because they wouldn't keep their mouth shut about how cool the place was.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Don't
Get
come
what
here.
You deserve.
We definitely don't have some of the best national parks in the country. We definitely don't.
No.
Nope.
All right, that is today at noon. Me and Kim was the point there. We're squeezing that in. Somehow that's going to still happen, and then we're going to meet up with these guys later. It's going to be fantastic. So check us out, noon. Me and Kim catching you up on all things Johnson. That'll do it for the show. Everything you need to find or use or get for us is at frogpants.com/TMS. That's a great place to link off to our Patreon. Request songs over there. Order tickets for TMS Vegas, which is hurtling at us at great speed. Lots of fun stuff happening, so please head over there today and use it. frogpants.com/TMS. Brian, let's play a song and get the F out.
Okay. Trey from Memphis wrote in, said, "Hey there, a scrotum and beanbag."
Oh, geez.
Yep. About 9 months ago, my wife woke me up at 4 a.m. to make sure the stick she peed on was correct, and after 8 years of trying, it finally said she was pregnant. Before I got in my car for 7 hours with my soon-to-be brother-in-law for his bachelor party, I went to a Walgreens to get some more tests just to make sure. And as I got in the car, this song came on, and I lost it with excitement. Well, here is celebrating the birth of my beautiful baby boy. I've taken so much parenting advice from this network and so thankful for everyone here. Love, Trey from Memphis.
Awesome.
Love the show, though.
Very cool. Congratulations to all of you.
Her due date, they actually moved up her due date. It was, I believe it was yesterday, and I'm waiting to get some news to hear how everything went. But congratulations, Trey from Memphis, and that's awesome.
Yep, very cool.
So the song that he heard in the car was Good Luck Babe by Chapel Roan. I love that one. We all love Chapel Roan and her Midwest princess goodness. Mm-hmm. But he wanted to hear a metal cover of it. And I listened to like 5 metal covers before I finally found one that I liked and didn't have a bunch of in the middle of it. This one has minimal. This is by a band called Cover Cult which is spelled with K's and umlauts, and it's just great.
Sweet.
In some sort of what's that style of font? The black letter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you call that? Gothic, I guess. I don't know what it is.
Gothic, German, Gothic looking. Anyway, it's a single day release last year. Here is Cover Colt, and good luck, babe.
Roses are red, and I love to dance. When I'm looking for great shows, I go to frogpants.com.
Christmas Evil.
Oh, shit.